Yes, so it's another episode of the Shoot Market, and I hope you have really been enjoying yourself lately. And I hope you've really been visiting our page and being inspired and being educated with the truth. Today again, we come with something very interesting, and that is what is trending. We're going to be talking about leadership and politics on this episode. So there are so many things we're going to be talking about, and this is it. On the aspect of politics not being a dirty game. Politics is not a dirty game. All right, thank you very much, audience, who've really been having a nice time, and I bet you it has really been awesome. We love your comments, we love your concerns, we love your likes, everything about it. It's another episode of the Shoot Market, and I want to say thank you very much for staying tuned. I remain Divine Susie, and today on the stage we have the servant to you, Ifanacho. Sir, you are highly welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd also want to welcome Brother Chedozie to the podium. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. So without wasting much of our time, today we are going to be dwelling on politics. And there is something that is bugging my mind. This servant said, politics is not a dirty game.
Okay.
He said, politics is not a dirty game. So I want to throw the question to the servant. Please, sir, can you really analyze, with all these things happening in the society all over the world, you see the strife, you see the selfishness, you see the rigging of election, you see a lot of things happening, you know? So many dirty things going on just for someone to become a president or a governor. And you say it's not a dirty game. So please, we really want you to... Outcomes.
It's okay. The truth here is that, just as we used to say, every tree has a root.
Okay.
And when you start talking, and every tree has a seed.
Exactly.
So when you start talking about politics, you should know that one, politics is an effect that has its origin from the cause. Politics is a branch of human existence that has its origin from the roots, which is truths. But if we should dig deeper to understand what politics is all about, you know, then we have to ask, what is politics? I said this someday. For you to get anything, if you want to go to a place, get the address before going there. If you start going there and you don't have address, you are going to get frustrated.
That's right.
So people are now claiming to be politicians, you know, without understanding the meaning of politics. The roots upon which, the spirit upon which the word politics was built. Then immediately you understand the spirit, then you are good to go. You might not call yourself a politician, but people will see you as a politician. Just like you, I wouldn't say it's a mistake. You mistakenly said, I say that leadership is a dirty game. So when you now look at what the politics is all about, you find out that concurrently it's the same thing with leadership. You understand? And leadership on its own, when you forget about the word politics and become a leader, then people will give you that title, a politician. Why? Because you have fit into the principles, qualities, and attributes of a politician. Qualities of a leader. Then people call you a leader. A leader is not someone who come to contend and impose himself upon the people whom he is leading. A politician is not a person who imposes himself upon those he is leading. A leader in the first place is a person who is busy doing what he knows how to do. And people are looking at him progressively. And at the end of the day, ask him, please, teach us how you arrived at where you are.
Okay.
Then you begin to lead. You are not leading animals. You are leading people.
Yes.
And the desire of those people you are leading as a leader is that they want to be like you or greater than you.
Exactly.
Based on the person's track record.
Based on the person's track record, your gabigates, unquote, your past experiences, your relationship with the things that are.
Exactly.
Politics is not what people took it to be these days, where somebody can jump out from just blue. Are you there?
Exactly.
A person who knows nothing is ruling someone who has something.
So,
So this is the why people called politics a dirty game, which is an error. Okay. So what is the word politics? The word politics is politics, politician, and police.
okay.
These three things.
Okay.
Politics, politician, and police
Okay.
is gotten from the root word policy.
Wow. Okay.
And that policy is a law. Policy is the same thing with a law.
Okay.
So when you are talking about politics, when you are talking about policy, you are talking about a law that governs, controls, and rules people.
Okay.
Then that law that rules and governs people, anyone who comes in to be the arbiter and the controller and administrator and the person who is living and applying by those laws and the constitution, as government could call it. When you start living by the standard of that things and teach other people by example, then you become a politician.
Wow. So,
You become a politician, a person who is living by the fundamental principles and the laws that govern people, which we have agreed that this is the way we are going to live. Then you become a politician. So a politician is not a criminal.
okay.
A politician is not a thug.
Okay.
A politician is a person who is living according to the constitution, according to the policy, according to the laws that govern a group of people. Now, administering it and making sure that the policy is being kept, the constitution of the land is being kept, that the laws of the land is being kept. Now I'm living it. So I'm a leader.
Okay.
Because I'm living it. Then when you are now living it, this is why it comes. Any person who goes against this thing, this policy, this law of the land, what are we going to do with it? We have to get that person arrested. Who would be responsible for arresting people who disobey the law? Let us go and still get a police.
Okay. That's the reason
So
why
that is,
police came.
That's why police now came. Now this is the constitution, this is the law, this is the policy of this country, of this group of people.
Yes.
Now we need a police. Even a Kotuma is a police in the ancient days. A Kotuma is a police because it's there. No, sit down, you are going against the law.
Yes,
it goes the policy of the court.
Wow.
Are you listening to me? So now police has to come in. So the title of police is not that batting,
Yes.
or collecting bribe. No, that is not the quality of a policeman. The duty and the characteristics and the quality and the attributes and the responsibilities of a policeman is monitoring to understand not who has money, but who goes against the law.
The policy.
The policy. Now, a politician is there to live the law, the policy, and teach other people.
Okay.
A policeman is there to watch who is going contrary to the policy.
Okay. Imagine.
Then, what are we going to call this group of people? Then we say it is politic, which is an adjective. A politician is an adjective. is a noun.
A
politician is a noun that qualifies a person who is living according to the policy.
So what they are practicing is politics.
Yes. Their practice is politics. That's the abstract noun to that. Is now these people is practicing politics. He is a politician. Then who is now going to monitor this policy? It's not carrying ballot ballot box. Is that what makes you a policeman? It's not receiving bribe that makes you a policeman. It's not wearing uniform that makes you a policeman.
Okay.
Are you listening to me? What makes you a police person is living according to the policy and watching other people to make sure that they don't go contrary to the policy. So your question now, I think we are getting a route.
Yes, we are going somewhere.
All right. So now your question now is, why is politics? They say that, how did I say?
Why did you say it is not a dirty game?
A dirty
when
game.
all the activities revolving around it.
Yes. Dirty. Now, we now go to that. Okay. The reason why it is not a dirty game, before the coming of the New Jerusalem, it was a dirty game. And why it was a dirty game was because people have now started living by a law that is not universal. It becomes divide and rule. By standard, that policy, which is a law, supposed to be a universal law. A policy should be made on truth, not on tradition, not on religion, not on a culture of a people. So why they fail now is that a group of people will say, okay, how are we going to rule this cattle? How are we going to rule this human being? Are you there?
Exactly.
Now, they bring intimidation, get police employed to intimidate people instead of observing the policy. Then they use religion, human culture, a tradition of a village or a particular religion, and make it a policy of a state, a law of a country, instead of using truth, which is universal. So supposing there is a universal truth, as we have it today, that governs everybody, then there is no way politics should be a dirty game. Wow. Now, let's see. The nature of God is universality.
Okay.
Are you there?
Exactly.
So, anyone who is living in truth that is squared is a person who is living according to the policy of God. Okay. Let me remove the laws of God now, because people will misunderstand me. God himself has a policy. His policy, let me give you one of his policies. His policy, which has never been broken and which is universal, is that any child that is born on this earth is entitled to a breathing in air. Okay. That's the policy. The mother should not deny you that. The policy of God is that every morning, sun will rise from the east. The policy of God is that people will take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. Now, if anyone should violate the laws of God, what will happen to him?
He will die.
He will die.
Exactly.
So what did God use to monitor that? What he used to monitor that is truth. Immediately you go contrary to the truth, you face the consequences. So a country should have truths that is universal as their policy. When the truth that is universal become a policy of a country, which we used to say, and it is written in the laws of truth, that whatever makes you a child of God, whatever makes you a child of truth, whatever makes you a responsible person within you, makes you the best citizen of any country.
Wow.
Makes you the best citizen of any country in the world. That a person is not a good citizen is as a result that he is not a good person. Okay. That there is no good politician is because there is no good people in the society. And who caused the problem that made men to digress? One, that's greed, selfishness, religion, and ignorance. Because what people think is a constitution of a country is no longer universal. It is peculiar within people. How do we grow? How do we? What did we agree on?
Yes, within a certain tribe, certain religion.
Yes, certain religion, ethnic groups, they form things and try to use it to impose it on the citizen instead of hanging on to that truth, which is universal.
I think that is where the challenge is.
Yes.
Because even if, as a Nigerian, the policy is already made for us.
Exactly.
If it doesn't cut across to all other countries, nations,
yes.
If you go there, in another country, you must contradict yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the challenge is that this
universal essence of law,
universality of that truth.
That truth that will make
exactly. And now work. People's their own attitude now, character and desperation on how to now get into power and rule is now what makes it.
Now, the problem here now is just what we are trying to say now.
Okay.
The problem now is that people are running the government of their own against the government of God.
Okay.
They created their own law against the laws of God.
Okay.
They created their own policy against the policy of God.
Okay.
But naturally, government is supposed to be an extension of God's essence.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Extension of God's essence. Therefore, if it is an extension of God's essence, the same constitution of a country must be the same truths and the laws that is universal.
Yes.
Because God created everybody equal with the same feature.
Exactly.
So God did not differentiate anything. But when, that's what we are saying, the problems of the society is trinity of evil, which are Satan, religion, and ignorance. So now, by nature, if religion had not been an evil thing, people do not know.
Yes.
By nature, a priest, a spiritual person, supposed to be the person who sublets the laws of God scientifically, arithmetically, authoritatively, unfailingly to the government.
Okay.
Who manage what?
Wow.
The society has, but not who. But because religion is evil, they failed. Government had to break away from them.
Wow.
So
that was the
yes, so government is supposed to be run concurrently with the spirituality. Because as I said, the three things that control the world, one is spiritual power, which is the greatest among all. The second is economic power before political power. So in the ladder and the list is the political power.
Wow.
But because they don't know the laws of God, the policy of God, now they carved out their own policy. Now religion, which supposed to, I won't call religion because religion from anywhere, it doesn't supposed to do anything than to cause problem.
Yes.
You understand? But what I'm trying to say now that those people who claim to be spiritual leaders,
Yes.
supposed not to bring the laws of religion into ruling humanity. What they're supposed to bring is the laws of God, which is universal. And that laws of God is nothing but truth. Then when truth is ruling, that's it. But now the government, human government, ran to people who claim to have God's government and God's law. Now you go there, they bring religiosity into things. There is no science to what religion does. They will now begin to ask you, have faith, have faith, and all these things that are not scientific. So the laws of God is a constant. The will of God is a constant. Are you there?
Yes,
then the laws of humanity, how to run the affairs of men, should also be a constant.
Okay. Like from what you have said so far, we've come to realize that politics on its own is not dirty, but it is humans that made it dirty.
Thank you.
One. Secondly, religious leaders were supposed to run this thing concurrently. Now, it is because of that assumption that politics is a dirty game. That is why spiritual leaders separated themselves. So now, with this explanation in this context, what do you have to tell religious leaders as it regards politics?
Religion, they have to be knocked off, just what I have to say. They have nothing to do. Are you listening to me?
Religious leaders should be knocked off.
They should be knocked off. Now, government is more reliable than religion. Religion came with a name that sounds good to correct humanity. But it is a devil's institution. Why it is a devil institution is because these laws of God, which is a constant, bringing somebody who has a faulty background, into a situation, it's like bringing a lion into a den of sheep. So originally, religion, we say that Satan got married to religion, and religion gave birth to ignorance. So they have to be knocked off because the original intention is already lost. So we should be talking about the government of God, which Jesus sets as an example. He said, Matthew chapter 6 verse 10, let your will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Then in the book of Isaiah chapter 9, he said the government of Jesus Christ should have no end. Now, this Christianity is not a religion. I have always been saying it. Are you there? Now, how do you know that God is ruling the earth? Jesus is truth. But when it comes to the lips of religion, Jesus become pulpit, become a church. Jesus is anything that is good, anything that solves problem. And that's the definition of God. And that is the definition of truth. Are you listening to me? Now, when these things, the will of God is being taught to humanity, they begin to live naturally as God wanted it to do. Then out of it, then comes human government. So that is to say, whatever makes you a child of God, a child of truth, makes you a perfect citizen of any nation. Now, the essence of government in the first place is what? Government came to the spiritual leaders. Let me not say religious leaders, because they are off.
That's the word I want.
Yes, the spiritual leaders are meant to go to God to get truth and tell people how to handle things in the nature. Then when they do that, then the government, the essence of government is how to distribute, equitable distribution of what God has created.
Okay, that's
the essence. Those things that are scarce in the society, like mineral resources, or like petroleum, like gold, like this, like that. Now, government, this is not spirituality because this deals with matter. Now, because this thing deals with matter, what are we going to do? Let us set up human government who will manage these scarce resources and bring a policy according to the will of God, that oil, when it is discovered in a village, one village will not lay claim to it. Let us know how we are going to do it equitably, so that a village that doesn't have oil will receive their own part. That's the reason for government, to distribute something that is scarce. Now, you will come to your community, and we found gold. If there is no government, those people that found gold will say, okay, it is our this thing. It's our property. And because it is their property, all other villages who don't have gold, but they need it, will no longer have access to it. So the essence of government is to make sure that things are equitably distributed. Like oil now, Niger Delta. Niger Delta, if there is no government, Niger Delta will say, no, we are the oil producers, everybody should go. So if you want to drive fuel, if you want to drive a car, they will not give to you. You pay through your nose. But Nigerian government said, okay, so long as this geographical location is consigned, this scarce resources, let's come into it and make sure that every citizen gets it. Are you there? Yes. Now, when we are getting it now, what are we going to do? Let us use it to build road for everybody. Whether you are a Jew or a Gentile. Whether you are from this religion should go out of the society. I would have said whether you are from this religion or not.
Okay.
But religion is an evil.
Yes.
And we shouldn't partner with evil.
Okay.
So whether you are a Jew or Gentile, you pass this road. So government is a step down of God's essence. Okay. Just let me give you an illustration. You don't pay for A. No. You take in. No. You don't pay for the land you march on.
Yes.
You don't pay for the sun you receive.
Exactly.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay, why? Because it's created by God. Now government come again. Do you pay toll gate if you are going to area 1? So this is the duty of government and this is the duty of politicians. Give roads to people. Bring borehole infrastructures to people. Bring electricity for people. Bring education more for people. Free. Okay. Why is it going to be free? It is going to be free because our natural resources is giving us money. Now, who is going to manage this thing? Let's look for a politician who live according to the policy of the land.
Okay, to now come and
spearhead it and make sure that every citizen, as we are getting natural resources that is scarce,
yes,
and equitably distributing it, we are also using it to build infrastructure to make sure that everybody in this state is comfortable. I'm not from Niger Delta. Let me enjoy the proceed of the oil and gas they produce in Niger Delta, irrespective of the fact that I'm not from that place. Why? Because I'm a citizen of this country. Then who is going to make that thing to be possible for me? Is it people from Niger Delta? No. There are people who are looking after us as a leader and as a politicians.
Okay.
So the question now is that if not religion, if not because religion is evil, and the spiritual leaders are criminals. Are you listening to me? They are not living up to their purpose. Because if they are living up to their purpose, what they should have been doing is going to God to get a law to govern a particular thing. Okay. Now, when they get the law, which is the truth, they push it to the government. Okay. Look at your own part on how to run this. Then a politician will now come. So, church or spiritual leaders have to be working hand in hand. I could remember in the olden days, before a government could go for war, which war is still evil on its own, they have to go to the priest. Inquire. This thing you want us to do, what do you want to do?
What is God saying?
What was saying? The 10 commandments Moses brought was a constitution.
Yes, for a nation.
For a nation.
Exactly.
You know, previously you said that the essence of church is for the place of inquiry.
Yes.
So if anything you want to get,
yes,
to help you.
Then if government wants to, like cigarette smoking now, if somebody wants to manufacture something, you have to go to the spiritual leaders. What is the spiritual implication and economic implication of cigarette smoking, of Niger betting, of opening nightclub, of opening beer parlor, of a gay? Now, a spiritual law will now tell you that originally from the God's creation, these things was not in creation. So we should not accept it as a practice. Okay. Are you listening to me? Nobody should smoke.
All right.
No factory should produce.
Yes.
You know? Yes. Yes. Nobody should sell alcohol. There is no nightclub. Okay. You know? But pastors are now drinking alcohol.
They patronize alcohol. They even wed gay same-sex marriage.
Okay.
I've seen them in
Okay now.
So you understand. So it is the failure of the spiritual leaders that gives government. But if the policy had been universal, that's why this great book, the greatest book on earth, came.
Okay.
Which is the laws of
truth.
truth, the spirit of truth.
Which a nation needs.
Which every nation, every child, in every place need. A governor, a president, a teacher, a minister. So that those laws, what is here, is the laws that is meant to govern humanity here on earth. So this is the work of government. This is the work of spiritual leader. But when they fall to spiritual leader to get information, they start telling stories.
Yes. And then
will we continue with these people for this their guesswork? God is good today, God is not. So there was no principle, science in spirituality, if not because we came. Because Jesus was saying in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 17, that heaven and earth shall pass away, but the title of this word can never be broken. That means truth is a constant, the will of God is perfect and supposed to rule humanity.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now, in a country like Nigeria, for example, where we have diversities of, let me use the word religion, we have Christians, we have Muslims, we have pagans, we have a lot of ethnic groups. Now, for us to be able to achieve this now, because there should be this understanding. So what advice do you have for Nigerians as a case study? For us to be able to have this mutual understanding and this universal truth. What one word for Nigerians? Okay,
now, the first thing before going to that is to ask you this question. Have you understood that why government politics is a dirty game is because there is no truth in it?
Exactly. Sure. That's the answer.
There is no justice in it.
In it, yes.
If it should be played with truth, justice, and equity, and according to the laws of God, the policy of God, which is truth, then government become an extension of God, then it can never be a dirty game. Why? Because nobody imposes himself. God does not, if truth takes over any nation, nobody will even want to be a politician. Are you listening to me?
Exactly.
Why am I asking you this? It should be by selection, not by election.
Not by election, exactly.
So it's because of this lack of truth.
It's lack of truth that people compete. I said it when we launched the laws of truth in AIT, interview I hosted with them. Are you there? If someone is a leader, your aim of leading is to render service. And that service you are going to render is based on meritocracy, based on experience, based on you interacting with nature. That's why we have Minister of Petroleum. A Minister of a Petroleum by meritocracy should be somebody who studied about mining. Not when you bring a computer scientist who studied accounting. Are you there? Exactly. He now become a Minister of Petroleum. He's not going there to reveal any mystery, to explain to people how petroleum is being run. He is going there to make money and to become that politician for that sake. But in a place, in a place where truth rules, it should be by selection, and by that selection should be meritocratically done. Do you know that politics in the olden days, in the days of religion, in the days of ignorance, in the days of confusion, before the coming of the New Jerusalem, do you know that politics dehumanized a man and takes a man's right of existence here on earth? How do I mean? If there are 10 people or 100 people or 30 people contesting for a particular political post, that means these 30 people have left who they are and they are now contesting that this thing is what I came into this world to do. Are you listening to me? Then that means there is nothing again I am to do apart from I get this post. Now, if eventually one person won. What will happen to 29 that failed? They become useless.
With all their commitment.
Yeah. No. They are not even committed. With all their desperation.
Yes.
Are you listening to me? What is going to happen to them? So they have lost their destiny.
Yes. Wow.
Yes. It is only one person that won. It is fulfilling his destiny. So in natural sense, people, they are supposed not to be contention. Because you want to be who we are not. So you're supposed to be, as a politician, busy doing what you are doing as a leader. Now people say, okay, please come.
Exactly.
We want to appoint you. We want to select you, not to elect you. We want to select you, please come. This is what maybe God have ordained you to do this thing, but you don't know. Well, come and become our leader.
So in essence, it's not supposed to
be a contest.
Yes.
It's supposed not to be a contest.
By selection.
Yes, it's supposed to be a selection based on experience, based on credibility.
Wow.
Based on your own personal experience. People, a group of people will say, okay, who is, like what is happening in Nigeria now? You know, who's supposed to be the leader should be a person who have experience.
Exactly.
Who has a track record.
Exactly.
Who is competent. Then people, youths, collectively, citizens whom you are going to govern will say, okay, come and lead us.
Yes.
Not 30 people coming to contest for one position.
Even when you are not viable.
Yes. You leave what you are doing. If you are viable, if you are really busy, why should you contest for something? Why are you? Because when the people are like, okay, come and rule this, you say, please, I'm busy. I'm busy. You people can look for another person. So that is how God does things, and that's how it's supposed to be in this. And that is where, in a little part of it, they are getting it right, because minister, they are still getting it wrong anyway. Minister of Petroleum should be somebody who reads geology and mining. Minister of Agriculture is supposed to be someone who read agriculture. Minister of Finance is supposed to be someone who read accounting and economics. Banking and finance. Are you there? Like what Okonjo Iweala is doing. Are you there? You bring someone meritocratically. When the person comes, he's treating with experience. He's handling issues with experience.
Now, in this issue of selection, I want to ask, is it supposed to be a group of people just ordinarily, or the spiritual leaders now, who people are coming to inquire?
Okay, selection. We shouldn't push it to the extreme. Okay. We shouldn't push it to the extreme. It's not, they are free, so long as it is human government.
Yes.
To do election. Are you listening to me? Because why are you doing election? You are doing election now because it comprises people with different opinions.
Yes.
However, if you choose someone or somebody say, okay, I'm capable of doing this. Another person from another place say, I'm capable of doing this thing. Now, okay, now that's why we have constitution.
Okay.
Are you there? Yes. We now bring the constitution and say who is merited in this post. We check your track record, not because you study in Harvard University. Yes. Are you there? Yes, exactly. But because there are a certain group of people or business or whatever you have managed and succeeded in it.
Over time. Progress.
Yes. Then we bring 30 people who have had experiences in different areas of life and all that. We said, okay, in a real sense of the word, somebody can say, okay, I step down for you. You are more capable than me.
Exactly.
If truth is ruling.
There is truth.
You are more capable. Are you listening to me? But if there should be election now, we now bring election. How many people agree that this person is going to? According to policy. Not according to rigging of election. Because animalism come into it when there is rigging now. Who is there? Okay, everybody, we are 5 that agree that Mr. A is going to be the leader. We are 10 that agreed that Mr. B is going to be the leader. We are 15 that agreed that Mr. A will be leader. Are you people sure? Yes, okay. The other 15 would now say, okay. I mean, the 10 and the 5 will say, okay, no problem. The person in the 15 is going to be the leader. Maybe they know him more than we know him.
Yes.
Okay, let's agree because we are one, mutually. Now, okay, come, Mr. B, come. You are the one who's supposed to be there. Then they will call Mr. B or Mr. P and Mr. P now come and take, everybody will say, okay. Now, immediately Mr. P is in the position. What are we going to do? We now said, okay, Mr. P, we have elected you to become the governor or the president of this country. Okay, we are watching you. When Mr. P says, okay, I'm going to employ the person who read accounting to be Minister of Finance, to be Minister of Petroleum. No, we say, Mr. P, this is not what is in the Constitution. We now bring truth and the Constitution. And so, okay, we say that a person who read petrochemical engineering and mining is the person who's supposed to be this. So whether it is from your tribe or from your whatever, truth is our concern. Constitution of the country is our concern. Now, why are you employing this person? He said, no, he trained me in school. Whose business is it?
Yes, there shouldn't be sentiment.
There shouldn't be sentiment. There shouldn't be tribalism. The truth should be the central point controlling everybody.
That's right.
Now, this is it. So we shouldn't say that there should be no election as far as it is human affair. Because if you tell me that it's God that said, did I hear from God? Are you listening to me?
Yes.
I don't hear from God. It's you that heard from God. Now, this is the experiences and the track record which I have.
Yes.
Now, let us judge him by that. But for the fact that we elected him to be our political leader does not mean that he's above constitution.
Yes.
Now, we now bring a police
check
to check the policy.
Hi.
Are you there? Yes. Now, police will now come in and begin to watch. Are you there? Then we bring now legislators, those who make law, who will be able to read and check. Police don't have time to read. When the lawmakers read the truth, the Constitution, are you there? They will now tell a policeman, look at this man,
arrest him.
Arrest him. This is what is in the Constitution and is going against it. Are you there? But those things are no longer happening because somebody will now become a politician by election, and now begin to bring somebody from his village, from farm, to come and become an accountant.
Maybe he might not even have any experience.
You know, actually, where I treasured what you just explained is that I use Nigeria as a case study, where you see amendment upon amendment of amendment.
Yes.
Each leadership this thing group that come will want to amend the constitution to their own.
Thank you. By nature, what are you amending constitution for? The constitution can only be amended when there is a new discovery.
Yes.
If there was, like when there was no aviation, aeroplane. If we manufacture aeroplane, are you there?
Exactly.
Now we said, okay, aviation minister will now come. We have to amend the constitution to include a new discovery. Why should you amend a constitution? Goat is still a goat for 100 years, 1 million years. Human being is still human being. A village is still a village. Tree is still a tree. Orange is still a orange. Why should you come in and begin to amend what is? You have to be, amendment should be an improvement upon existing things. Or if there is a new invention or discovery, which people don't have a steady policy on how to run that a particular thing or to distribute it to people, now there comes amendment of constitution. We said this when we were using cars. Now aeroplane has come. So what are we going now to do to improve upon these things so that aviation will now get involved? Is that okay? We were using this thing when we had the gold as a mineral resources or agriculture as a mineral, as a source of income. Now we have discovered oil. Now we need to amend this constitution to be able to incorporate this thing into the system.
Yes.
So truth is what people need, and everything must be universal.
Powerful.
So these are the things that made government, according to people, a dirty game. But now we have come with the laws of truth. So I told you people, and it must play out. On a very good day, these laws of truth will be a constitution of a country. And the first country that picked it, or fourth family that picked it, will become the greatest and the richest and the most successful, no matter what.
Already diving it.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what you really need to know. Why people say ignorance is too deadly, religion is evil. Because when people now come into into politics, you know, they bring religion. Are you a part of our religion? What is the business?
I've seen a president like that, the servant. I've seen a president who now said that during the course of election, he said, because so and so people or tribe did not vote for me, I didn't get serious vote from them, they are not going to be part of my government to share the scarce resources. I'm not going to picture them. That's what I mean when truth is not universal. You begin to see this kind of thing. But I don't want to ask the servant, I tell the servant, but the case of
don't worry. Leave that to a question. Store it in your memory. Okay, let me finish with your question. So that we don't overlap them.
Exactly. So, having said all of this, the questions were two, but I asked the first one. And that first one maybe should come second. But the first one is now. Based on everything we have discovered so far, we have come to discover that this religion is just the problem of the nation. I am Mr. A, you are not part of my this. So how do we solve religious crisis? That is one.
Don't worry. That's one. Let me answer this. You can't solve religious problem alone. As you are solving religious problem, you are solving ignorance. Are you there?
Yes,
to wipe out evil in the society. Because Satan knew that humanity, when they have truth and start living by it, there will be peace. So he has to organize confused people called religion to come and begin now to bring a law that is not constant, that is not reliable, that is divisional, that is traditional, that is cultural, but not universal. Then they bring some it. So as soon as religion comes into anything, the next thing it's going to do is to create ignorance. Because what is ignorance? Ignorance means ignoring the truth, ignoring a good life. That is ignorance. We say that ignorance is an unexplained truth. And Satan hiding in unexplained truth. So immediately religion comes now, they begin to tell you, okay, this is how we did it. This is how our prophet did it. You know, they are no longer checking whether it is universal or not. This is how our church do it. They are no longer checking whether it is universal or not. Now, when a child is raised in this confusion with this ideology, the brain will be blocked. The brain is already blocked. Now he is ignorant of the suffering of people.
Yes, sir. Whether they are dying or
whether people are dying or not, the question, religion said it, we are going to do it. Then you become ignorant. So never you even dare to talk of religion without talking about ignorance. Because all these politicians you are now seeing that are messing up from that sentimentality. So what can make it stand is to bring truth that is square, just like the laws of truth now, that is universal. Am I communicating with you?
Yes.
So this is the way to treat that thing. The only thing you can use to fight religion is to attack ignorance.
Let the people be aware.
Yes. When people become awakened, then you say that your prophet said, we ask you, is it universal? Whom does it benefit? Whom does it make creative? Whom does it make to discover himself? Are you listening to me?
Yes.
Now everybody begin to question, because religion does human reasoning and makes them not to ask questions.
Yes.
So the religion is sitting on ignorance because it's the child. It gave birth to ignorance. So immediately you are being brainwashed. Don't vote any person who is not a part of your religion. Ma'am, you grow up with it. Immediately you see somebody who is not a part of this religion. Whether it is a human being or animal, kill the person.
Yes.
Are you listening to me? So the only way is this awareness. And the only thing to do and get it right is to educate people on the laws of truth.
Okay. So, sir, give us this awareness now. Based on what you have said so far, I just need an advice for Nigerians, for the whole world. Like, okay, how do you come out of this ignorance? How do you come out and grab this? What is this truth they need to know in short?
The truth, the definition of truth, as we say, truth is anything that is from God.
Okay.
And anything that comes to solve a problem, and anything that doesn't have negative effects, both in the present, in the future, and in the past, by application.
Okay.
So now, that is it. So when truth comes into the society, into the heart of the citizens of any country, are you listening to me? Religion goes away.
Okay.
Because when you want to handle anybody, love your neighbor as you love yourself. When you want to handle somebody, you begin to see the same God that is in you, in that person. But religion does not see, because they came with ignorance and people are not aware. How can you kill somebody who is breathing the same air you are breathing in? And God did not make this air to be scarce. So he's not taking your own air, like you now. Are you taking my own air?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what of the son? Are you taking my own son? No. Is there any religious son?
Nothing.
Christian son, Muslim son? Muslim A, Christian A, Judaist A, Judaist this? No, this is it. So immediately you now say, okay, I have how many hands? Fingers?
10 fingers.
I have 10 fingers. Now, if God approved religion, he will have given birth to a group of people who have 6 fingers. Are you listening to me? And say that, okay, these people now are going to use this particular thing to be identified as children of God. You know?
Yes.
Are you listening to me?
Exactly.
So the only thing people need, that's why this thing is sine qua non and indispensable in human life, the laws of truth. It doesn't belong to anybody.
Yes.
It's just a guide, a human guide. So what people need to be aware. One, they have to be following the teaching of the New Jerusalem.
Okay.
Go to the truth market, ask any question, then the teaching, then get the laws of truth. Everybody's supposed to be reading it, to be awakened. Then religion would dissolve naturally.
Wow.
Because if somebody who says he's a spiritual leader, when he's talking about human reasoning, you know. Talking from human reasoning, you know. Is your question answered?
Yes.
It's just nothing but awareness.
Just
this message now, as we were saying, share it to everybody, including the governor of your state. And ask that governor, come and take laws of the truth, supply to everybody, so that the people will awaken as I'm waking. Like now, from the embassy of the New Jerusalem, is there anything religious about us? No. Do we treat people differently? No.
At least having known that God is one, we use the same soil, the same water.
The same water, the same air, the same everything.
We sit in the same vehicle and all. So
yes.
God is not divided as
He's
well.
not divided. Look at, if you go to supermarkets or in a market, everybody go there. Buy things. If you go to class, 2 people will sit one place. And when they sit one place, they will be taught that 2 plus 2 is 5. A Muslim will receive that teaching. A Christian will receive 2 plus 2 is 4. A Judaist will receive it. A Hinduist will receive it. But immediately religion comes in, everybody will have different extramoral.
Once God comes into context,
yes,
everybody
will now share class. You start teaching this person that God is green, God hates, God is angry, God is wicked. A big division comes. Is it not madness?
It's madness.
So religion have to be wiped out in the system, and the only way to wipe it out is the sword of spirit, which is truth.
The truth. Embracing the truth.
Embracing the truth. Are you there?
Yes.
Christ did not bring
division.
He didn't bring religion
Yes.
to humanity. What he brought is truth.
Okay.
And every truth of Jesus is universal. But these so-called demons, in the name of men of God and pastors, came and hijacked it and twisted everything Jesus did and joined it with the confusion of Moses. That is joining Old Testament and New Testament, and fight bursts, and everybody ran away. And the government left.
Some people now took New Testament, say
yes.
Some took Old Testament, say we belong to.
Okay, so now government left them and created their own administration, and more confusion continues. Okay. So the only way to sort it out and correct the word and correct is to remove religion in the face of men.
Okay, fantastic.
And every culture that is not universal.
Fantastic.
Every culture that is not universal should be removed into the affairs of men.
So the major thing we are talking about here is that religion should go. Scrapped out completely.
Yes. Both Christian religion and every other religion.
We focus on central truth.
Universal truth.
Universal truth.
And handle it. That's the first question.
Exactly.
Go to your second.
You've answered.
Even the question I wanted to ask you. Even the question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Answered it.
Okay.
Yes. Because the way forward.
Yes.
Okay.
That even the laws of truth, if you are a governor, a president, whosoever want to become governor, a president, or a minister, or whosoever want to be, to remove the burden, the laws of truth will help you.
Okay.
Because immediately every other person around you, or the country we are ruling, has these laws of truth. It will be easy for you.
Yeah.
He said, what makes you a child of God makes you a good citizen and makes you a good leader.
Yes.
So, and all those things are embedded in this truth.
And mind you, yes, a child of God is not a part of religion. Religion is a sect.
Yes.
A child of God is not a person who goes to a building to make noise.
Religion.
Yes,
Exactly.
go to a building to make. A child of God is a person who think good, speak good, and do good.
Simple.
Who relate with his neighbor as a product of God. We are not connected by blood or geographical location.
Yes.
We are connected by truth.
By truth. So whether you are A or whether you are B, so long as you do good, think good, speak good, so long as you practice the truth, that's all.
That's all.
You're a child of God.
Yes.
Not because you go to somewhere to clap hands, or you go to somewhere to bend
Or
your
you praise 100 times
Or you
every day.
praise- no,
Or you
makes
fast.
you-
Those things are madness.
Sometimes
You see?
you always say it in the church.
Yeah.
You say, let your lifestyle in the church be outside. The same thing outside.
Yeah.
It means, what if what you are living here, the truth you have gathered from New Jerusalem,
Yeah.
is what you still practice outside. You can never be a disobedient citizen of any nation.
Have you seen it? So politics is not a dirty game.
It is not.
But it is played by the laws of men with their own selfish interests and myopism, and is being played again with religious sentiment, with tribalism. Are you there?
Exactly.
When society have not been awakened to know that religion is evil. When society has not been awakened to know that the essence of government is to bring equity and equitable distributions of resources God has endowed on people. I discussed this in financial class. I said, why did government have money?
Okay.
Government have money on policy. They have financial policy, is right? Okay, they have money on policy in the sense that, okay, we are from different tribes with different talents and skills. Then how do we relate with ourselves and our neighbors? Okay, let us print money, paper, and give it security. And say, anyone who discovered anything new to serve humanity and to serve life, he should bring it to the national body and prove it that he discovered this. Then we will give him our paper. He will go home and enjoy it. Are you there? To get other things he doesn't have, whereas we receive that. So in whichever way, paper come to be exchanged with value. That's why the money comes. So government agreed now as a physical things, let us have this thing. They print it and kept it. So immediately you say, you citizen have discovered an app which can solve a problem, security problem.
Yes.
Or you have discovered something to how to make gari. You have discovered how to make this thing. Now, that is your value you have already generated within you. Then you meet government and tell them, this is the service I'm rendering to humanity.
Exactly.
Then this is it. How many bags do you have? I have 30 bags I can produce in a week. Okay, bring those your 30 bags. Then take money, which worth it. Then government will use that thing and tell another person who have discovered how to make rice.
Yes.
Who need gari. He will now go to government and tell them, this is it, I have rice. They will tell him, okay, Mr. A, take the money we give to you and go and buy rice there if you are looking for rice. Yes. Now, if this person does not need rice and this person need Gary, but he doesn't know where the person selling Gary is. That is market, just as we have truth market today.
Yes.
Are you there? Now, go and carry your rice, go to government. Government will pay you money.
Exactly.
So you can now look for a person or give you Gary. Are you there? Government will pay you. Then you look for a person who has the Gary. Then you give him money. If the person says he doesn't need money, you can buy it from the government.
Exactly.
That's why they say money is an exchange of value. But to us in the embassy of the New Jerusalem, we say value is an exchange of money. Then it is not a person, a political leader, a politician that rules a country. No. Who rules a country are the citizens.
Yes.
Because if those citizens are not productive, a politician will not eat money.
That is how it's supposed to be.
He will not eat paper. So the citizens need to be developed and they are awakened. Not with religion. That's why they are awakened. Then when citizens are developed, they bring their talent and their value to the government.
Yes.
Then government will give them money. Then it begins to circulate in that form. Now, a politician cannot do guy. For me, Queen, I'm an agriculturalist, manufacturing things, because if he says no, he will die of hunger. Let him eat the money. But now everything has turned upside down. It is no longer run according to the will and the principles of God. Did you get it?
Very well. Very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you so
All right.
much. Yes.
Justice to
They have done justice.
Our questions,
honestly.
okay.
Our viewers to they must have enjoyed
I
us.
believe you are satisfied with the question, because there is one word I needed from the servant to the whole Nigerian, and which he said, and what is that word? He said, remove religion from politics. If you want politics to become as God has made it to be, which is the constitution of God, and for the government to run it as the policy God has laid down, then you have to forget about religion. So we really appreciate today's episode, and we believe that you have learned so much. It is not all about religion. I am not repeating the sermon, but it's just a highlight for us to really understand what he has really made us to understand today. These things makes us blind to the truth. When you put religion in politics, that is when it becomes dirty, because it blinds you to so many realities that you yourself are supposed to enjoy. So many benefits and rights you owe as a citizen. So we are telling you, the only thing that could make it better is for you to have the laws of truth. And what is the law of truth? This book in my hand contains every truth you need as a citizen, as a leader, as a politician. Politician in the context he has defined. A politician is somebody that is doing what, that is keeping to the policy of the nation. So if you don't have the truth, there is no how you can keep the policy. So if you want to be a good leader, a good president, a good citizen, a good nation, please grab the copy of the laws of truth to make our world a perfect one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Every politician or leader must be interested. For you to be a good leader,
Yes.
you must be interested in developing capacity of the citizens,
Yes.
not in gathering money.
Yes.
So a good politician is a person who shows people who they are, and they encourage them,
Yes.
and they make them to discover who they are,
Exactly.
and give them the sense of looking for value before looking for money, and encourage them that as soon as you get that value, come, we'll give you money. Simple. So this is a good leader who help people to discover who they are.
So we are asking for a leader.
That's who the greatest leader in the planet.
Yes, the greatest leader, a person who tell a person who he is.
Yes.
When you know who you are, you go home and sit at home and begin to develop that who you are over time and space. When you are done with creativity, with invention, with discovery, then you come to the government. The same person who will show you who you are. You say, I've arrived this, so I'm having challenges on buying this equipment, on research this thing. Can you give me so amount of money? Government will say, no problem, continue. That is research development institution.
Wow.
That is the main charity that's supposed to be done. Not close to election, you buy a trailer of rice and begin to share people to come and vote for you. You are mad. That is insanity. What you're supposed to do is encourage these people to discover who they are. Let them have the truth and begin to go in silence. When they come to extent and say, okay, I want to go and study overseas, but I'm stuck here because I don't have paper to relate with people overseas. Now, a politician will say, okay, wow, how much do you need that will take you to overseas to go and improve? Bam, he says 1 million, 3 million. You sponsor that person. He goes. When he's done there, you still as a politician, out of that mutuality and love, come back to our country and develop this thing and teach other youths. Now I have sponsored you. Now come and sponsor another person. Wow. Now you come and develop another person. This is it. Now I am studying, but I don't have money to go to school, but I have money, I have time and talent.
Yes.
I don't have money. Okay, no problem. We'll use our money to import equipment and open a class for you. It's free. So long as you are a good citizen. This is it. Now the person will go now and begin to study and spend his own time, not your own time. Are you there? To now improve on himself in that area. Your own is continue giving him money, feed him. Don't allow students to go and begin to hawk akara, hawk this before, or do akuna, or do prostitution, carry drug before he could go to school. No, don't allow him. We have the money. Anything you need outside, tell us, we'll give you the money. That's sponsorship. That is charity. That is development. Now, every citizen now will know that it is, you are no longer asking what to take away from the world. What you have to be asking, what am I giving to the world? So now, when politicians are doing their own part in the regulations of those paper and money, are you listening to me? The duty of the citizen now is to go back and start developing. Anywhere you have financial hinges, you call on the government. You call on the government. They will pop money to you. Then everybody begin to develop. Then the laws of the truth will still tell any person, government is not owing you anything.
Yes.
You are the one owing the government. Why? Because you can't touch money unless you have value.
Yes. And now that you have value, let it generate money.
Let's start generating money. And when you have value, government should not deny you that paper.
Yes.
This is a relationship.
Oh, you see? So it's just a citizen-leader relationship.
Yes, yes.
It's not just a ruler.
Yeah.
You are looking for a leader.
Yes,
but
a leader.
what is happening today is rulership.
Okay, so both of them are correct, whether rulership or leadership. Are you listening to
Yes.
me? Now, but the question now is that nobody wants to do anything. If you touch any graduate, hey, there is no job. There is no job. Who will give you a job? The duty of government is not to create a job. The duty of government is not to create a job. It is you that have to develop the talent inside of you and become a job creator.
Yes.
Then government will now come in and tell you how to run that. That, okay, that's the meaning of tax. And that is still the meaning of tithe in religion. Now, government find out that you are discovering this and you are manufacturing, making a lot of money. What do we do now to take some of this money out of you? Because you are now an oil refinery. Yes. How do we do to take this a part of money out of you and give the society? Who don't have the same talent you have?
So that's where the tax comes.
That's where tax comes in. Are you there? Okay, you are earning 100,000 naira every month. Please, bring 20,000 naira and give your brother who does not have. Let us give them electricity. Let them give them road to strike a balance. That's the essence of tax.
Honestly.
Tax. Also in the church. But you pay tax, somebody who, Minister of Finance, will put it in the pocket. You give somebody money to go and do research, he will put it in the pocket. Before you know, instead of going to the bush to gain experiences, you see him in nightclub. He don't blow. So when these guys now who are youths begin to see all this rubbish, they lose concentration. Yes, who is interested in studying now?
Nobody.
Nobody. Everybody will consult lecturer and go away. So youths are being discouraged because there is no truth in the land.
Exactly.
You know? So everybody is saying, government, I need this, I need this. You need what? The only thing you need is what can you do to develop who you are. Yes. So every citizen should go. Money should not go into the hand of anybody who did not merit it.
Or have value.
Who do not have value. So that people will be challenged. Okay, see what is happening in Nigeria now. This cashless society. If they are not, if they are sensible, oh, it is a wonderful. Why? A governor now, a president now, a civil servant now is going to a person who is selling provision store and telling him, please, I depend on you. Give me 1 naira. Give me this. I need money. Why is he needing money? The power is already decentralized.
That's right.
Are you there? Yes. Now, people like us now have never had any problem. This thing can even continue for the next 30 years. Why? I have value. If you need my service, you bring your money. So people who do not have value now in the system are helpless.
Honestly.
That is true.
Honestly. True of us?
It's true. Very true. You must go and look for value.
Yes. All the kidnappers ceased. Because kidnapping is not a value.
It's not a value.
You are causing problem in the society. All these churches, yes, they are suffocating now because offering has decreased. So if they continue it for like 3 years now, so many people will resign as a pastor.
Honestly.
And start looking for something to do.
And start looking for something
That's
to
right.
do. Because the money which made them to become pastor is no longer there. They don't have value.
You know, last time we discussed about business. Is a business class?
Yeah,
the
episode.
Call by call.
Yes.
Is it on a business or normal?
Call by frustration.
Call by frustration.
Call by inspiration. Are you there?
Probably we are bank managers.
You see? So the society, 1 is the abuse of the government, 2 is religion, 3 is people don't know the meaning of money. But thank God, truth market. I think we have done justice for today's discussion. But it is so easy to run a country, to run a government, to run a family with the laws of truth. So easy. All these things you see me. Every father can speak like me. Every child, every citizen can speak like me. Somebody will come and tell you, take money. You say, I don't need money. What I need is truth.
That's a wonderful one.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate
this
segment. And I hope you enjoyed yourself too. This one is affecting everyone. So long as you're a citizen of this country, not just a citizen of Nigeria, the whole world.
Anywhere.
Every government is affected here, and we recommend this to the government. It's very, very important. Let's see if our nation will become a perfect one, because we are aiming towards perfection. And we are trusting the Lord that by the mercies of God, this particular episode is going to touch so many lives. Yeah. Let's leave religion.
Go and look for value. Stop looking for money.
Yes.
Go and look for, and keep on re-emphasizing on this. Go and look for value. Don't look for money. If you do okite will kill you and kill your generation. If you do ritual money, it will kill you and destroy your generation. Because you won't have a story to tell your children when you don't have value. Is that okay? Yes. If you become a pastor, a man of God, and you are collecting tithe and offering, and you are not distributing it, truth will arrest you.
That's right.
Well, truth is our police. In this contest, truth is our police. He will arrest you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have come to the end of today's episode. And thank you for watching. We shall come your way some other time again. Stay connected. I remain Divine Susie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.